Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hi, hi. Long time no see, everyone. Oh my goodness, though. It's kind of wild. For some reason, there are people going around offering Christmas caroling already. Like, I don't want to say too loud just in case they're nearby. But still, already people offering Christmas carols. It's only the 9th. People, I'm impressed. I am very, very impressed. And yeah, I'll be catching up to the event tonight. I'm excited. Super excited. And then I can easily farm. Oh, so much farming I gotta do afterwards. But for now, it's time to continue. Wait, the volume was muted. My bad. Oops, and I accidentally changed the window size. Now it's better. Okay, everything's all good. I know, right? Last stream was a stream of rejection. I wonder how tonight's gonna be. Because, oh my goodness, that was just... ouch. Now, what is survival? Survival is living. That is what survival is. Phew. That woman nearly got me. Cassia? I've been looking for you forever. Where'd you run off to earlier? Lucilla? What are you doing here, child? The city unit framework needs servicing. It's a standard combat duty, but look at that beacon tower. What happened inside the city? The Seaborn have broken into Millennium. The tower has become one of their nests. Leave this to me. You should get out of here quick. It's too risky. I'll stay here with you. No need to. Are you hurt? Yes. It must have been the Seaborn as you came over. Wait, no. A scratch like this couldn't be left by a Seaborn. Did someone attack you? Wait. Why are you pulling out the safety valve? Hey, don't push it. It'll cut off the ground level self-diagnostic system, and the city framework will stop working. No, you know that way better than I do. You've been trying to do this all along, Cassia? Are you with the Church of the Deep? When the Sea Patrol investigated Tulia, you deliberately turned them against her? Don't tell me it was you who made her disappear. What's this you've got on my neck? Longbeard comb tooth grass. Something made by a friend in charge of raising roadside coral. Don't move. You'll die if its bristles pierce your skin. Quite painfully, if I may add. Now, leave this place, child. Once it senses you've gone far enough, it'll fall off by itself. You want to leave, don't you? To be honest, before we became co-workers, I happened to see your assessment in the Institute of Development Planning. You care so much about that data scientist because you've never forgotten that evacuation of Millennium, have you? You watched as the distant lights of the volcanic power station went out, surrounded in endless darkness, with only strange rumbles and rustling carried to you by the currents. The ocean as it once was. At that very moment, you were the closest to the ocean out of all of Millennium. You standing at the mezzanine of the dome, all alone. The IDP assessment was that there was too great of a psychological burden, which is why they agreed to transfer you from the dome system to ground level. Your so-called fear of heights was just a little joke of yours. I'm afraid that you yourself don't even realize what lies deep within your heart. The remaining Seaborn will soon discover that this route is still open. You wouldn't want to meet them again. Go quickly, before it's too late. I'm glad that Cassia is at least trying to let Lucilla escape. Cassia grips the safety valve and continues to push it. She no longer looks at the joke-loving colleague by her side. The valve stops abruptly, releasing an ear-piercing shriek. She can push it no further. A pair of slender hands are pushing back from the other side. Lucilla? Ha! In any other situation, I'd definitely give you a piece of my mind, or stuff this whatever grass into my ink bottle and tell tell you this sort of practical joke is beneath you. But it's so bright. The light from where the tower sank in, from the dome above us. Every seaborn on the whole continental shelf is rushing towards Millennium, right? Just what is behind those strangely colored lights? You're not wrong, Cassia. The seaborn have eroded away at our lives. I've experienced the truth of that myself, and I'll never forget. I envy Tulia. Our experiences were so similar, but she was able to protect what she treasured all along. An amazing woman, really. And look at me. I escaped the dome and got back to the ground. Before you arrived, I was even thinking of escaping from here too. But where would I go? I can't let you break the framework, Cassia. I can't let the Seaborn get into any other Millennium's units. Any other Millennium's unit. Even if this grass thing kills me in the process. Because there's no going back for me. You really are a strong child. Laurentina's parents once told me that while a dome may be beautiful, this transparent structure is actually the true eye of the city. In fact, I've been asking myself recently, since we're at war right now, shouldn't the eye be on the lookout for danger? She forces herself to look ahead, the strange colors reflecting in her pupils, the roar of the tides and the whispering of the ocean's progeny resound in her ears. The young Ager presses hard against the safety valve. She does not let go. She dares not let go. Only once a firm hand presses down her shoulder, forcing her stiff muscles to relax, does she come back to her senses. You can let go now, Lucilla. Cassia, she... Temporarily paralyzed. I only managed to graze her with my shot, which is why the paralytic took so long to take effect. Sorry for putting you at risk. This is Consul Clementia. Citizens of Millennium, heed me. Once a city unit containing the beacon tower has been fully ejected, the rest of the city shall break through the Seaborn encirclement and move towards dry land. Reactivate the linkage mechanism in the city's framework and perform a structural reorganization. Force fields at full power will stop the Seaborn tide from setting a single tentacle onto land. Legions 8 and 10, along with the Sea Patrol, send all operational warships out in turn to escort the city. It might be more appropriate if you were the one to handle the reports regarding Cassia, Lucilla. I see. You should be heading straight to the port now. The mission just declared by the consul is more urgent. Cassia's already subdued. I'll take her to a doctor first, and then... she should be punished. And if the city is going to undergo structural reorganization, the dome system will be at a focal point of the force field to hold off the Seaborn. So they could possibly use some extra hands up there. Maybe I should submit an urgent application to return to my old post. And hey, hello. Yo, thank you for the caps message. That is very sweet. You're very brave, Lucilla. Oh, so you heard all that earlier? I did. Before you submit that application, though, you ought to see the doctor yourself. Longbeard comb-tooth grass does in fact contain a potent neurotoxin. Right, I will. Lucilla, please be safe. Ramming armor check. Ship cannon mounts check. Monitors check. Camouflage coating check. Propulsion system check. All system diagnostics complete. Ready to launch. We'll be heading to the designated waters at full speed to block the Seaborn tide from the north. All weapon system permissions granted. No need to hold back. Don't let them get near Millennium. We'll do everything we can. You're just part of the first sortie. We'll be sending the rest of our ships into battle after you. You're to escort Millennium in shifts while it's reorganizing, serving as an extension of its Great Wall, and preventing the Seaborn from making landfall. So remember, the moment you get the order to change shifts, you must return to resupply immediately. Understood. Pretty. Seaborn spotted. The remaining Seaborn in the city are attacking the port. Do not let them approach the warship docks. Pain convulsions. Not content with ambushing us in their nest, they made a sneak attack on our city too. How annoying. rapidly flaps fins. Wrapping around a statue? What? Had the Seaborn developed a taste for art since entering the city? That said, the Sorrow Drinker is hardly a masterpiece, so I won't feel too bad when I've reduced it to rubble. Honestly, I think it's got more charm with an arm broken off. Thanks for the glowing review, Scotty. Are you feeling better now? Yeah, ever since we left the nest. Good to hear.
It's the hunters. The Abyssal Hunter has safely returned to the city.
Oh, that would be amazing. That's like the ultimate goal. Swordfish? Captain Gladia, you've met...
Yes, I saw him. We've arrived at the right time. You must have heard Sukuna's report over the emergency frequency. Infiltrating Millenarium, breaking into the Beacon Tower's control room, murdering the weapons technology advisor at the Waterway program, and finally, choosing to return to the ocean with the Seaborn.
Also, this is gonna be like the best way to promote myself. Like, hey, gacha games, if any gacha game wants to hire me, all of the money that I'd be given would go straight back to the game, so it's like recycling. They wouldn't lose anything at all because I'd be using that to summon more. It's the circle of life.
Opianus has not made it easy to clear him of suspicion. To capture him, or even execute him, is a duty we Abyssal Hunters must perform in the future.
Captain Gladia.
But for the moment, our mission is to search for the remaining Seaborn scattered around the city units, and put every last one of them to the sword.
What must be said, I have said.
You've avoided answering the question at heart of all this, Martus.
The question... at the heart?
From your description, everything that transpired between the ruins, the crimes you committed and the consequences incurred, they all seem to stem from some mysterious inevitability. But the Martus I know was an eccentric yet gifted man. He was doubtful by nature, and not one for making arbitrary decisions. He would not have rashly discarded all reason and played at being the mystic. And he would have been even less inclined to reject his own existence, or ignore the worth of others. The choices I have made, the outcomes I have borne. Why do you care what the past Martus thought, before he made his decision? His past choices have made you who you are now. Without understanding his reasoning, we cannot understand your existence. You would care about such trifles as well, Kelsey? The nuclei within its skull spin. Processing. I understand now. Of course you would care. How could you not? The human that once ate the strange flesh experienced such struggle too. Was it a day, or perhaps several? In the depths of the ruins, time holds no measure. He feared, he doubted. He was compelled to think over every possibility. Where will the next crisis come? When will it descend upon Terra? He used a lifetime of knowledge to attempt to decipher the undecipherable, to comprehend the incomprehensible. If there exists a life form that could survive the cosmos of Quietus, even if only as a singular being, how would it be born? Given infinite time, even the tiniest fin will be able to type out the ultimate truth of all things on the terminal using its tail. But time was our most precious resource. Admittedly, the ferryman before him had foreseen our ruinous prospects, but could he and his progeny continue bearing the torch of life through it all? Supposing they could, before they instinctively iterate a way of overcoming that destruction in a limited time, how large a population and how efficient a fecundity would they require? Oh, fecundity, I never thought I'd hear that word again. The one time, or the first time I heard fecundity was in the SpongeBob movie, one of the SpongeBob movies. Would they have to consume a patch of sea? A whole planet? An entire star system? How many must die to support their lives? Supposing they could not, then where did the true answer lie? On the other side of the ocean? On the other side of the sky? Or perhaps, is it somewhere out in the sea of stars, untouchable by Terran hands?
Even if you spent your entire life simulating, you would not have been able to obtain a definite conclusion. The information you possessed was simply insufficient to calculate every possibility.
Indeed, Kelsey. But the past Martas had no choice but to try. Ooh, hello. I wonder if that old Farinmut under the sea, Ishar Mila, knew Kelsey in this case, because that was the one who gave Martas all the answer, or the knowledge. Danger and possibility both hung above his head, while below his feet he found only an unseen tightrope.
You could have informed your country from the start. Ager would have helped you take on your burdens.
The oldest records of the Academy of Science could verify the past you saw. The latest inventions of the Academy of Technology could model the future you envisioned. To see the choice to others, is that a solution or an escape? The choices of the countless many against the choices of the few. Are they more accurate or more ambiguous? More earnest or more capricious? Suppose the means for life to continue is not civilization, and the species that transcends ruin is not humanity. If so, how would Ager react?
Enough, Martas. If you had thought of every possibility and foresaw the bitter price to pay, then your final decision is even more inexcusable.
No, Ager. I do not mean to defend my choices. Ooh, hello. What I wanted to say was that, at the time, there was an immature life form that interrupted my flights of fancy. Its tentacles were minute, and its body yet uncoordinated. Beneath its translucent membranes, simple organs could be clearly seen. Born from Ishar Mala, it had unknowingly crawled past the cabin wall, and was licking my ankle happily. Was it unaware of how swiftly its death would come? Did it not know that it was destined to become one of those insignificant dots among the millions of biosignatures on the monitor? Being the progeny of a Farinmut, could it have not seen the frightful vision its parent saw? Was it unaware that the destiny of its entire race was only to foretell and greet ruination? Ruination? It just wriggled calmly towards its foreordained destruction, acting out of instinct only. As for us, there are countless possibilities to consider before making a decision, countless trade-offs to worry over. We find ourselves unable to ignore the cost of our decisions, or the results, or the value and meaning of those results. Humanity, humanity, is ever a prisoner of itself, ever one step behind fate. It is funny how the Seaborn do have a similar color scheme. You know, we be matching. This is the essential difference between humanity and the Seaborn. This is why they are suited to bear the duty of continued existence. That's why you ate the strange flesh? That's why you became like this? That's why you interfered with civilization's evolution? That's why you became like this? If there is any life that can survive that future of quietus, no matter what form it takes, it is worth fighting for, no matter the cost. I like how Martas was just like, oh, look at that little tentacle thing. It's so cute. I like it. I'm gonna protect it now. It's friend-shaped. There is no justice here, only the path ahead. You should understand now why you must help we many evolve.
You are not the first one the Doctor and I have seen who can barely qualify as human, but they all made their hard choices. No one had ever made a choice as horrifying as yours. Before you ate that flesh to become a Seaborn, you'd already renounced thinking as a human does. From my perspective, that which you abandon in your final moments, your doubts, misgivings, concerns, and struggles, were the most precious of treasures.
They're treasures because they're unending.
The Seaborn are swallowing Terra's life whole. You have not denied this, nor can you stop it. How are we to see them as our hope?
What is your choice then, Kelsey? To incubate Originium? The collapsed Stargate, the extinguished sarcophagi. Of the countless failed plans, is Originium the only one still in operation? Stones amidst the land and sky ever silent, they are an incurable disease, harming life atop dry land. And yet, they are a plan left by the prehistoric civilization. One expected to save all existence at the very end, in ways incomprehensible to the average person. Glub. The stairwells to survival can only be forced in the fires of destruction.
No, such destruction must not happen. Much like Kerula Arbor, Originium at some point turned to the annihilation you speak of. It changed in ways none can understand and none can reverse. And since it has changed, it must now be stopped. Whatever the case, using life to feed life or ruin to beget ruin would only serve to remove all meaning from survival.
Kelsey, or rather, Amaten from the records, you surprise me. You and I should have arrived at the same conclusion via different paths. No, you should have been even more rational, more decisive. I merely noticed a spark of the prehistoric civilization and took on its mantle. You, however, were born for this task. You held aloft its torch eons before I did. You've kept watch over their distant aspirations and legacies. You've carried out your assigned mission. You witnessed changes. You bore loss. No human could have toiled for as long as you have. But now, has endless life rendered you feeble, Kelsey? Has it turned you human? Kelsey has always been like this. You don't know Kelsey at all. You don't know her. Stop acting. Was it because of this one? Dr. Misaki, or rather, Oracle? Sorry, I don't know Oracle. Oracle, I don't know him. Many facilities, many doors, your fingerprints, face, voice. Within the cerulean cave, among the ruins, traces of you lie everywhere. What do you mean my face? My face is always covered. What are you talking about? And what? I'm that famous? Within the cerulean cave, there's traces of me everywhere? Wow. Ishar Mallah must be my #1 fan or something. I imagine it's gonna be like one of those fan shrines. You have visited the depths of the abyss before. Have I? A pity I don't remember. When did I travel down there? What the heck? Evil spirit, what are you up to? Dang, evil spirit, I really am cleaning up my own mess. A pity I don't remember. I recognized you. I've been speaking with Kelsey until now only because it is more efficient. You must know the truth. Your visitation is sure to have meaning. Perhaps you are able to explain why the project is at a standstill. But your title is different now. Something has happened to you. Otherwise, Kelsey would have held no doubts about what had happened to the plan.
For several reasons, the doctor is unable to remember many of the things back then.
I wonder what other things did evil spirit do? Freaking evil spirit.
Like one thing evil spirit did, you know, plan some shady stuff on land with Teresa's. And underwater, I guess I also planned some shady stuff with Ishar Mallah. What else?
The nuclei within its skull spin. Memory loss. Love. Unsurprising. Losing one's memory is perhaps the most insignificant sacrifice you could make. Even the most resilient of life cannot withstand the ravages of tens of thousands of years. The fact that you still exist upon Terra is in itself a miracle.
I'm that old.
I'm ancient. What I saw, what he saw, what they saw. Those frightful visions are an absolute truth to you. You have lost your proud civilization and homeland. Heaven and earth have lost all color. Time and space have become vast prisons. You have been exiled by despair. You have stopped to rest upon Terra. You have not escaped your fated ruin. All men will perish, all things rendered meaningless. Despite this, you have not stopped fighting for hope. This planet has been forever marked by your resistance. Even if those marks are mostly wreckages. I revere you and your cause. You, the people of a bygone age. A Seaborn acknowledges my past? If that
cause involves today's Seaborn, maybe the project stopped because they realized the cost. If that cause involves today's Seaborn...
Dr. Misaki, whether you accept it, deny it, or are undecided, it matters not to me. I am not hoping to win your understanding. I seek not your approval. You and your comrades have planted hope in the depths of the sea. A possibility, a spark. Perhaps you have forgotten it, perhaps you've renounced it, perhaps you now stand against it, come what may. Now it is I who tends to this light, and I shall not see it extinguished. The rejection of our flames kindler will not waver the many's resolution. Let's stop trying to prove ourselves. We shall return to the reality itself.
If Priestess is watching this, she's probably just enjoying this while eating popcorn.
We many sense the incoming crisis. Perhaps the eye beyond the clouds has caught the glimpse of Terra's exceptionality, a sword hanging above all our heads. Terra's but a cage, trapping countless souls unaware of the truth. Now there's a crack in the bars, a crisis, also an opportunity. Sight, sound, smell, touch, the rushing of the ocean waves. Within the cage that is Terra, the children of the sea are the most resilient race. Never have they stopped evolving.
Ooh, hello, hello.
You cannot deny that we many have become the most magnificent of miracles. They'll become the sparks in the wake of the Big Bang, the seeds in which the cosmos will blossom once more. They're the closest to success. Tell me, Kelsey, Dr. Misaki, and the Ager, do you now choose humanity, or Originium, or the Seaborn?
It is true that a crisis fast approaches. There are still many questions I am unable to answer, many truths I am unable to grasp. But this does not imply that life can be reduced to a hollow concept that would simply erase its original meaning. You consider this a weakness, Martis. I consider it my drive, bestowed upon me by this endless life of mine.
Life's worth should be determined by the living. Life's meaning should be written by the living.
I feel like life's worth should be determined by the living. The Seaborn are a calamity that must be stopped.
Ooh, I've never heard that metaphor game before.
If it's a peak game, I gotta look that up later. On this, the Doctor and I will not change our positions, and neither will Rhodes Island. Without civilization, how can you speak of survival?
Without survival, how can you speak of civilization?
This ridiculous debate has gotten far enough, Martis. We have excised the disease organ familiarium. Your kin in the city are being eliminated as we speak. You'll have plenty of time to reflect on what you've done and share the rest of your secrets with us in prison.
Furious howl! You, Ager, and that Ebon monster. It is futile to contain me. You alone, your city alone, are not enough to slay me, to slay Ish'ar Mala. The city has completed its reorganization. I can imagine how it will look as its bars are current. But we many will surpass it. There is no right or wrong here, so let your brief resistance provide our soundest proof. Next, I will rouse the slumbering firstborn. I will lead our kin to the moons. You'll become a part of this magnificent cycle, Kelsey, as will you, Dr. Misaki.
We'll see how that goes, Martis. Maestro.
Santidad, I'm here to make my report.
No need. Ager has already informed us of what transpired beneath the waves. What of Kelsey and the Doctor of Rhodes Island? They're still in the city. We're connected, sir. This is a real-time image of the sea's surface, all thanks to Ager's drone matrix projecting directly into the Great Lighthouse's display.
Hey, hello, hello.
I feel pretty good. I had a lot of coffee today, so I feel hyped.
The Seaborn Tide and the Aegarian city, both approaching the land. They're less than 10 nautical miles away.
Well, Scotty's not the only one inside of a Rhodes Island with a Farinwood. Just like Thirder. Ooh, nice. I haven't used my Mizuki yet, but he's adorable. And I tried going for Upipi, but he rejected me instead. I got myself a nice spicy chicken instead, aka Fiametta. And at this point, I'm gonna give up on the banner. He can spook me at any time, he's not limited, so it's okay. Now I just gotta save up for Dungeon Meshi and then Pepe.
The stirring spray, those intertwined currents, are they all seaborn? Even the color of the seawater has changed.
That's only the portion exposed to the surface, the tip of the iceberg. The Seaborn took advantage of Aeger's landfall. This entire sector of sea has become their nest.
Aeger's defensive perimeter. How long can that transformed a city of theirs hold?
I do not know.
Have we come to the conclusion that Aeger's waterway program has failed? All the Aeger and Militarium are still fighting as hard as they can. For the past 2 months, the Penal Battalion has requisitioned all operational vessels along Iberia's coast. They've been on standby in Gran Faro and are now ready to set sail.
The enemies in metaphor are called humans. Ah, wonderful. Beautiful. Wait, Pepe comes before Dungeon Meshi? That's actually good then! I only have to go for one person if that's the case. I don't have to worry too much. Maybe Pepe will like me too. Mizuki was nice. Suzy was nice. So Pepe must be nice too, right? Unless the desire sensor's too real, like with Wizardell. But no, I'm gonna stay positive.
I will personally lead them to reinforce Aeger's defensive perimeter. Together, we will stem the seaboard tide. I'm afraid you won't have much time to rest, Irene.
It seems not. I saw the Inquisitor's information at the base of the lighthouse earlier.
In the end, Iberia has found herself, walking a tightrope with no margin for error. Survival, or utter destruction. There are no other paths before us.
Oh. I hope not. I hope the next person isn't Pepe. Please don't. Oh no, I gave too many offerings to Ulpipi. I'd rather have Pepe than Ulpipi. Uh-oh, I hope not. Uh-oh. Next event is a rerun the anniversary. Oh. Well, in that case, I'm really gonna hope she's nice. Oh no.
Should Aeger's Great Wall fall, it'll be up to us to educate the Seaborn on the significance of land and the price they must pay for desecrating it. Maestro, Donna Irene.
You stay here, Jordy. This lighthouse will be our final bastion. The Penal Battalion's operations will depend on its signals. Do what you can to keep it going.
No, not that. Look at the window. Light. Is that a lighthouse?
But aren't we the only operational Eye of Iberia? What's going on? Why are we suddenly receiving so many identical signals?
The lighthouses along the submerged coast, which have sat in silence for more than half a century. They've all lit up at once.
Dios mío.
The silent technology of the islanders. What are you responding to?
I want to see the lighthouses. Ulpianus hears the rumbling of the city reorganizing above his head as he watches a lightless beacon tower slowly sinks into the depths. The building that once supported the grand aspirations of his people is now a seaborn brood nest. The old and feeble will use their bodies as nutrients for the next generation. Their journeys will continue with their newborn kin. This is how the Seaborn have always been. They spare nothing in their devotion to their kin and do their utmost to nurture them. The thought brings a brief moment of sickness to Ulpianus. The weight of the great anchor in his hand stretches to his shoulder. The moment he realizes that he will never be recognized or remembered, he feels more clear-headed than ever. He is yet unable to cut the disgusting connection between himself and the Seaborn, but he still has the strength to cut off the tide surging towards the city. Gladia was right. Battling in the rapidly proliferating nest might only hasten his assimilation. All that awaits him is death, or worse. Ulpianus pulls his might into swinging his anchor. As if able to read his thoughts, the tiny hatchlings gracefully avoid his swing before calmly flickering past the grip of his anchor. He adjusts his breathing, recalculates, and swings once more. Faint mechanical cry. Sad little baby. An immature life form, freshly hatched, flits across Ulpianus' vision. It flips over gracefully, revealing minute yet precise mechanical structures on its belly for just a moment. Then there are two, then three. The skull of newborns links together into a fine path of light, illuminating the chaotic waves. Adult Seaborn of all shapes crowd around them tightly, directing the currents and protecting them as they swim into the distance.
What are you escorting? What are you escorting, Seaborn? What is it you're protecting?
Nutrients, life, kin, and you, Ulpianus. We many, together as one. As a former consul of the Academy of Technology, one at the top of his field, Ulpianus is certain that he is not mistaken. The steady flow of wondrous things streaming out of the beacon tower. Our nanomachines once ensconced in there, a history cut off, a dream that died young. As an abyssal hunter, he trusts his sense of smell as much as he does his scientific intuition. Their scent is no different from the Seaborn. Those beacons, dead in the cradle nearly 200 years ago, now thrown with new life. Incubated by the Seaborn, they now swim together towards the tidal confluence on the surface. Have you not yet
given up on these games, Ager? Despite your own noose around your neck? Or is this also part of your plan?
At first, there was only a mote of fluorescence, then a flowing line, and after that, an elegant lattice, spreading out across the surface of the sea. Ooh! Connect the dots! That's a lot of dots. And a lot of connecting. Take a path, any path. Billions of nanomachines sway alongside the children of the sea, bobbing up and down in the ocean waves. Their shimmer is minute yet clear, indistinct yet unwavering. The passage of light reflects about among the Seaborn's bodies. The currents connect every nest scattered across the seas. Seaborn gather together from every corner of the ocean for their excursion onto land, gracefully extending the paths of light. They intertwine with one another. The golden net they weave is like a galaxy strewn across the sea surface, from Millenarium down to the deepest depths of the ocean. The waterway, the network of the ocean, one connecting land and sea, one transcending chaotic space and placid time, bound together with we many. Okay, now what am I gonna fight? This'll be fine. Yeah, no fear. No fear at all. Is this boss battle time? Uh-oh. No uh-oh. I'm just gonna place her there for now. Let's get me some more cost. No! Well, that's okay, I can regain my cost, it's fine. Get my setup ready. 18, 19, 20. And then next person down. This is fine. I feel like the sea is just that dark. Also, depending what time of day it is, because if it's nighttime, of course it's gonna be super dark. And oh, there it is. There's Martus. Let's see, you know, let's just have Chen go after Martus. I might regret that decision, but that's for future me to regret. Current me is fine. Yeah, this is fine so far. No, it's not fine. It's not fine at all. I should have had a healer. Except my healer isn't doing too much. Oh, this is kind of chaotic. Uh-oh. No, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine, it's totally fine. Is it fine? Is it really fine? Am I just coping? I might be coping at this point. Uh-oh. Oh, Martus is invincible. Aww. Gosh darn it. Well, you know, I'll just redo it at this point. Well, that's good to know. I thought I could just kill him if he's just gonna wander around aimlessly, but no. This time it's fine. Okay, I got this. I totally got this now. At this point, we're all good. Yeah, very, very good. 8, 9. Sorry, Vigna. You're just there to give me some more cost. Just a little bit more cost. Getting the same setup for the most part. Okay, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 20 done, and then I should probably bring out a healer first, actually. You know, healers are good. Healers make me feel good. I'll get multiple healers too, especially. You know what? We'll have one over here first. Yeah, one healer on this side at least. Okay. Give me more cost, please. And then Wizardel can do a thing over there. I believe in her. Oh, that kind of hurts. I don't like that. But Not's fine. And then I can start bringing out another healer. Actually, do I want to be edgy and bring out another person? I kind of do. And I'll do it, you know? I'm not going to resist. Resistance is futile. Resistance is futile, but there might be regret. Nah, it's fine. It is totally fine. Hello, floaty floaty dudes. I'm just gonna get rid of you here. Or not. I'll get rid of you soon enough. At least with all these healers, I should be able to be safe enough. And now that Susie's here, she can help me out. Yeah, this is fine. Just keep targeting that floaty floaty as it slowly approaches. Just a bit more. I'll let it approach. Oh, look at Martus. He just be vibing. Okay, so far so good. Yo, Thorns, help! Wait, Martus. What are you doing, Martus? Martus, can you just, like, not do that? Get your grubby little tentacle thing away from Susie. How dare you, Martus? And hey, hello, hello. Oh, this looks like a lot. This looks so chaotic. But it's okay over here, I think, maybe? Yeah, it's okay. Kind of, sort of, not really. Okay, enough. Darn, the floor. Oh man, I hate having to care about the floor now. Stinky floor. Okay. True, I guess I can't blame Martis for that. Susie is adorable. She truly is the most precious. At the same time, Martis, gosh darn you. No, Martis, no. Martis, no. Okay, and just a little bit more. Phew! Knowing that I can't kill Martis by attacking him directly, that helped a lot.
There you are, Consul Clementia. We noticed an extremely unusual biosignature in the softened theatrum. I'm glad you're unharmed.
What's the status of the front line?
Legions 8 and 10, alongside the Sea Patrol, have been sending out escort ships alternatively, as per your orders. The city's reorganization and life force fields are both complete. Millennium is holding against the Seaborn tide.
Inform every relevant researcher in the city. I need a minute-by-minute breakdown of the situation of this region of sea. We're still being far too passive, even with our contingency plan put into motion.
Madam Consul, you may want to see what the drone matrix just sent back.
These passages of light between the Seaborn... waterways?
Consul Clementia, we've re-established communication with the home territories. We just got a dispatch from the Institute of Scientific Development Planning.
Any news from the hunters?
3 of them have returned to Millennium. They're cleaning up the remaining Seaborn. They're cleaning up the remaining Seaborn in the Eastern City units.
Contact Gladia. Tell her to come meet us immediately.
Yes, Madam Consul.
Let's go, Kelsey. Doctor. You need to deepen your contact with Ager. I'll go with this captain to inform the hunters. Kelsey alone will be enough for diplomacy. I'm gonna go with the captain. I gotta go check up on Scotty especially.
Doctor?
The Seaborn left and head to the east. The Seaborn might run to Scotty. I gotta protect Scotty. She is my most important one right now. You understand, right, Kelsey? You exchange a quick glance with Kelsey.
Madam Consul, the doctor still has some affairs to settle.
Very well.
The final battle for the waterway program has concluded with the Seaborn. Invasion of Millennium. I require an explanation, Consul Clementia. Gladia, were any of you harmed? I see you're here too, Kelsey. We had a few unexpected encounters, but nothing we couldn't handle. I believe that, as an envoy of Iberia, Dr. Kelsey also requires an explanation.
I could use one myself, if we're being honest. There is someone who wishes to see you all. The little handy moves to the center of the Pentavarium, its projection module emitting cold motes of light, slowly coalescing into the figure of an Ager woman. She sports a smile under her golden hair. Her eyes are focused on everyone in the room, as though she has been waiting for, or perhaps observing them for a long time. Hello, pretty lady.
Consul Horatia.
Why ever do you look so fatigued, my little Gladia? Though the transmission efficiency of the waterway is much higher than anticipated, I fear our simulacra are still unable to transmit my feelings. Otherwise, I'd stroke your hair and give you a nice big hug.
No need. You know the risks of doing so. The changes on the sea surface, as well as the sudden appearance of the waterways. Was this your doing?
Whether Ager or Seaborn, we all find ourselves competing over time. The Seaborn must keep sending nutrients to every region of the sea they conquer. They wish to quickly transform the entire continental shelf into one great nest. Every issue has two sides. This disaster also blessed us with bioenergy beyond measure. More than 2 centuries ago, the beacon launcher would have required a dozen cities' bioenergy systems to continually fabricate the nanomachines comprising the waterways. Now, those nanomachines are being fostered by the Seaborn, who regard them as harmless kin. Using the data flow between the nanomachines as a medium, fleets and cities in squeezed state could traverse the ocean in an instant. Though these machines cannot take Aegir to the stars as our forebears imagined, they are more than enough to carve a path of life for civilization in its time of need. But would that mean that...
But that would mean that, for the foreseeable future, Aegir will have no choice but to enter into some kind of symbiosis with the Seaborn, using that scum as they in turn sees us. Is this another of your so-called games?
It is how we will break through the siege. The term waterway, the path ahead for Aegir, has never referred only to pure waters. You've always had your doubts about the program, and that is fine. But if that doubt serves only to put you in disarray, then it is useless. As Aegir is determined to open a waterway between land and sea, and land, there was no question that it shall do so.
I do not doubt your success, but perhaps there is still room for debate as to your methods.
Dr. Kelsey, I presume. Consul Horatia, the Institute of Scientific Development Planning. It's a pleasure. It pleases me that there are still those on dry land who have inherited the will of the prehistoric civilization, that Aegir is not alone in our duty. I am also glad to see you have begun our discussion with a firm diplomatic stance. Then I can take it that you speak for all terrestrial civilizations, and that we can dispense with establishing diplomacy with them one by one.
I, too, am glad to see Aegir abandon its contentment in isolation and seek out cooperation with the land. But I regret to inform you, Madam Consul, that I do not represent it in its entirety. I merely understand it more than most. That said, I believe what Aegir needs now is exactly a thorough understanding of the terrestrial civilizations. You and I both know that this waterway would not be used only for resisting the Seaborn. Aegir has its eyes on every unnatural existence in these lands.
It is the only means for us to ascertain the intrinsic nature of Terra, and to eliminate the disasters hanging above our heads at the source.
And I'm sure you are aware of how such actions will be perceived by the terrestrial nations. Compared to the Seaborn, you'll be seen as the more direct threat.
We bear them no ill will. We need not stoop so low. The cruelest thing we could do is ignore the need of help of other tottering civilizations we meet on the road to settling the crisis. Of course, we will first help them to learn how to walk. Bottlenecks of development, dilemmas of war, barriers of race, clashes of cultures, trends of ideology, changes in the structure of society. Over the millennia, Aegir has grown freely beneath the waves. It has faced every issue a country might face. We wish to share experiences without reservation.
And how would you do so?
Using Millennium as our main port, we would send talent and technology ashore to aid the Iberians in revitalizing their home. Kernwoods perceive the incoming crisis far more keenly than humanity. That young one will not shelter Chirag forever. We can aid that nation long trapped in snow in breaking through its developmental barriers in a few short years, so that it may stand equal with its neighbors. We can aid the Sami in purging the demonic corruption permeating every inch of snow, and restart the abandoned Stargate in the north. Ursus, Casdell, if the flames of war rage, we will calm them. If there are disputes, we will resolve them. Bolivar, Higashi, national unity is but a few fruitful negotiations away. Aegir will aid them in every predicament. Aegir will guide them towards the only goal they need. Under the leadership of Aegir, the land and sea will share a common future.
Madam Consul, I do not doubt Aegir's sincerity, but I fear your proposals would not have the effect you expect.
For me, me Heratia rather than being closer to the twin empresses. She reminds me more of Kristen.
But will dialogues between equals necessarily center around peace and development? Were Ursus's internal problems to be resolved, who was to say they would not bare their fangs once more and attack their neighbors to satisfy their regained appetite? Bolivar's many regimes might reach a consensus under Ager's pressure, but how will you eradicate the profound, deliberately provoked hostility? Dr. Kelsey, are you saying that Ager's efforts to aid the terrestrial civilizations will only result in the opposite? I am saying that we can establish a more equal and profound cooperative relationship between us. With only your probes, you are enabled to understand a civilization's needs. With only your experiences, you are enabled to force a nation to skip over its path to development. Before you act, you must learn more. Otherwise, the winds you stir on land may become some great storm you cannot turn a blind eye to. We would be more than happy to hear your suggestions then, on the condition that you do not allow us to be held back by excessive caution and meaningless apprehension. Seeing the gulf between us, between land and sea, I understand that we will need many more discussions before we can make progress. Once the waterway opens, I look forward to meeting you in the flesh, whether on land or in Ager's home territories. I as well, Madam Consul. What about you, Gladia? Do you agree with Dr. Kelsey on this matter? The IDP need not question Rhodes Island's sincere wish for cooperation, nor Dr. Kelsey's ability. I can vouch for both of those. And there are indeed essential differences between Ager and the nations of the land. The land dwellers are short-sighted and clumsy, which makes them frail. Forcibly removing the differences between them would be no different from destroying them. It is truly necessary to show good faith. I've never seen Gladia place so much trust in someone, Dr. Kelsey. A feat to be sure. Perhaps she can be a bridge between our peoples and aid us in coming to a consensus. You will see that Ager's plans are no mere idle prater. Now, do you allow me a moment alone with Consul Clementia?
Secunda, a fleet approaches from the land. Iberia. Hail them via the drone matrix. This is Prefecta Secunda, of the Millenarium Sea Patrol.
It's me.
Irene? We're currently in a head-on battle against the Seaborn. Don't come any closer. Your ships are too crude. I'm sorry, but they may get sucked into the eddies around Millenarium.
You're saying that Iberia should just wait quietly on land? That I should just watch Millenarium get invaded by Seaborn, and let the waterway transform into some kind of God knows what, that even you, Ager, never foresaw? We've already talked about this, Secunda. I'll be there in 5 minutes.
Halt all attacks. If we're going to pick up the Iberians, we'll just have to open the access channels to the rear. Why stop attacking? Look at the screen. The Academy of Technology just sent an urgent communique. What do we do? Are those light-emitting nanomachines components for the waterway? But the Seaborn are still attacking the city. If they fuse with the nanomachines and bear identical biosignatures, our weapons won't be able to locate and attack the Seaborn only. Don't tell me the legions want us to halt our covering fire and rely only on Millenarium's force fields to hold them back. May as well slit our wrists and be done with that. Scribbling on your device again, you know, sometimes I really admire your ability to keep a cool head. Use the images from the drone matrix to render a 3D model.
Rendering in progress.
Perhaps the answer lies within the riddle itself. The biosignatures of the nanomachines and the Seaborn are identical, but we still know clearly that the nanomachines have formed a waterway. How?
We can see them. Each machine emits a particular light that's clearly visible. Contact the Academy of Technology and tell them we have a proposal for modifying our weapons targeting systems. But recalibrating 2 legions worth of auxiliary optical systems would take a lot of time.
What about using a lighthouse on land?
Irene.
Well, that was the fastest 5 minutes. It seems we arrived in the nick of time. A dozen or so lighthouses on the lost coastline have resumed operation. They're responding to your waterway. Combined, they should be enough to illuminate this entire patch of sea. Maybe they could serve as your auxiliary optical systems? I'm hardly an engineer, but these lighthouses were built with the Agurian technology. They should be compatible with your existing systems. Yo, Irene to the rescue!
That should cut the time needed in half. I'll let Consul Clementia know. Thank you, Irene.
The Inquisition would be overjoyed to see these newly unclouded eyes become part of the combined defenses of land and sea. We're partners now, Secunda. Though maybe we should be thanking Briogan instead.
Briogan.
He truly dedicated himself to these lighthouses. A naval architect drifting into a foreign land, striving for the day when the land and sea could work together. He foresaw calamity, but left no answers behind. It's a pity that Ager saw him as an outsider, while Iberia never truly accepted him. He died alone and miserable. But now, his plans will finally have the chance to become reality.
We acted far slower than he did.
Indeed.
But it's not too late, or rather, now is precisely the time.
Hey, hello.
Let's get started, Irene.
If Briogan could hear them, he'd probably be like, yes! Finally! My time to shine!
I'm still more used to you with your veil on, Heratia.
Hmm?
Did you show off that scar below your ear to let Gladia know that, as her mother, you will tolerate her setbacks just as you accept the blemish she left in your face?
Mama! Ah, so that's how Gladia would look. Would have looked before the surgery then. Mama! The Gladia's the one who hit her mama's face. Oh my. Their fight. What happened? Whoa.
Huh? I'm not that strict of a mother.
And thank you. With her left hand on the astrolabe, Heratia's right hand softly strokes her cheek. Below her right ear, where a thin scar stretches upwards, nearly touching her eye, there's a smile on her face.
But this is no blemish. It's beautiful. Trivial for a doctor to erase, but I refuse. My little Gladia was bravely
Five? Gladia! She was born a warrior!
My little Gladia was barely 5 at the time. She was taking her first career development assessment, and through this made her wishes rather clear. You don't know how glad I am to see her grown. She's certainly more suited for the life of a legionnaire, than in the Institute of Societal Programs or Institute of Scientific Development Planning like you expected. No matter. Whatever field she joins, she is sure to excel. She was born for Ager. I remember when she was 2, the Institute of Incubation said your disposition and the nature of your work made you ill-suited to raise her, and suggested you place her in their care. They said the same when I first decided to raise her myself. Saying that again 2 years later would not change my mind. But what truly pleased me was seeing young Gladia rejected as well. I wouldn't say you have the best bond as mother and daughter, but you do have an odd kind of report. Alright, that's enough, my little manta ray. I suspect we have more pressing matters to discuss than reminiscing about my daughter. Can you please not call me that? Very well, Consul Clementia.
I think that's a cute nickname. Little manta ray. Adorable.
While we spoke, every city in the home territories has been conducting an unprecedented investigation into the Church of the Deep. As the core of R&D, Blandas was able to tamper with Class 4 weapons, but his actions should absolutely have been detected at some point before they were put to use. Meaning there are many behind him fanning the flames. All members of both academies who had anything to do with the weapon's design,
manufacture, and maintenance are receiving the most thorough investigations possible. In response, the church has brought their full influence to bear. By grasping at a single leaf, we may be able to pull out an entire rotten branch. And with Martis, no doubt we'll be able to identify the church's deepest roots. Aegir itself is undergoing a grand surgery. Surgery to cut out a festering tumor, isn't it? The waterway is open, and the fallen who corrupt our nation has been revealed. Both are of great value, as I see it. Are you trying to console me over the superficial waterway program's failure? To tell me that the sacrifices of Millenarium were not without meaning? Why do you insist on double negatives? They make you seem weak. There is no such thing as a superficial program in Aegir. Council Clementia. If the IDP has approved of a program, it means its planning and members are entrusted with the hopes of Aegir. We believe that you are capable of using the Class 4 weapons to purify our waters and open the waterway. This has always been an official part of the program. Yet it failed.
It makes me wonder how baby daddy is. If this is how Horatia is, and how Gladia is. Gladia is nothing like her mama. I wonder if she's like Papa instead.
Yet it failed. The theoretical success rate of oceanic purification was never high. However, the waterway program was a guaranteed success. Did I not promise you that before we set off? Trust in me, trust in Aegir. I don't doubt that even if the city were to sink, consigning all 10,000 or so Aegir souls in it to the depths, the waterway would still open without a hitch. However, of all the possibilities you've accounted for, how many will call for sacrifice? How I wish this meeting of ours never had to happen, Horatia. Is that why you've worked yourself to the bone, my little manta ray? I read the reports on Millenarium, a consul for the entire city. You need not throw yourself into each and every little affair. The stimulants you abuse will not hide the exhaustion in your face. You really have thought of everything, as you always do, Horatia. All these losses and sacrifices, the falls and the betrayals, even Martis' secret. Are you not the least bit shaken? Speaking of Martis, you reminded me of something. Of what? Martis regards himself as the gardener of sin. At times like these, he is wont to hide himself behind history. I can infer why he'd seek cooperation from Dr. Kelsey, but from the way you describe it, those discussions quickly devolved into a vapid declaration of war. I find it difficult to imagine he would be satisfied with such a failure of negotiations. That is, unless he gains some other information. We will continue to track his whereabouts. Are you hiding something, my little manta ray? Clementia does not answer. She instead raises her hand to look at Horatia, face to face. With the simulacrum erasing the distance between them, she knows that Horatia will be able to see every detail of her expression. But the curve of Horatia's lips do not change. Her eyes are as gentle as ever too. Clementia hopes that her own expression is as firm as hers. I am still the chief designer of warfare on the waterway program before you arrive, Horatia. Naturally. Your calculations may have arrived at the correct outcome, but I had to handle the situation in my own way. The Academy of Science and Academy of Technology each have their own duties. Yes, of course. I only hope that this obsession with self-reflection will not cause any complications. Your keen judgment must stay unclouded. I won't let that happen. Here, come a little closer. We still have some time. Kelsey, Rhodes Island, Iberia, the Inquisition. You'll be busier than ever soon, so best not keep frowning like that.
Well, that was a phone call. Rapidly convulses its gelatinous body.
Quizzically sways fine tentacles.
Trying to run? Smart. Your kin are behind this wall. A lot of them. It's the end of the road for you, though. What a pity.
Ishar, Mala? Ishar, Mala. A sudden voice, tinged with surprise. Scotty turns, looking towards its source. A conical creature exuding light leaves the shadows of the buildings, shielding the two-cornered Seaborn with its body. Leave kin. Through the eddy ahead, return to the sea.
You're so honestly gentle with them. Disgusting. I'm guessing you're the leader? Our meeting was preordained, Ishar Mala. Huh? You know me?
Scotty grips her sword tightly. Ishar Mala.
From Salviento to Gran Faro, from Steltefera to here, you scum have been watching me this whole time. What do you see your god... What, do you see your god in me too? Are you here for family or revenge?
The nuclei within its skull rotate slightly. No. Ishar Mala. Ska D.
You're not nutrients to complete the cycle. You are its end. Our kin will not prey on you. On the contrary, they respect you, protect you. They await your transformation. They await your evolution.
Scotty looks at the being's eye. For whatever reason, this monster she has never seen before seems familiar. Very familiar. The bizarre organs surrounding the Seaborn disperse and surround her in turn. A shimmering umbilical cord connects her body with the Seaborn's. Ew. Scotty suddenly remembers when she faced the first Seaborn to talk. In that cave below the church, she also experienced a moment of distraction back then. She had just been through a fierce battle, her blood boiling with frenzy, but now, she feels herself uncontrollably responding to the Seaborn's touch. She curses herself for this moment of distraction.
Why?
A natural phenomenon. One I am also helpless to resist. This is the answer, Ska D. I ate of his flesh, and he lives within you. You are he. I am he. Our hearts connected, our blood interlinked. You need not waver. You need not doubt. The kin will not demand you walk with us. Ishar Mala chose you to continue his life. Perhaps this is the only way he will witness what he must witness. Travel the road he must travel. What did he see in you? Perhaps. Could it be, Skadi, that in the cold, dark future, in the cosmos where all things are doomed to fade away, you are the one hope, the spark, the possibility? Are you the one who bears the final wishes of untold lives? There's one thing I find hilarious about all this. So, Ishar Mala's like, you know what? If I'm to be reborn, I want to be reborn as a Skadi. And of course, knowing how Skadi is, Ishar Mala wants to laze around for the most part and also fight all the other Seaborn. Ishar Mala's probably like, dang, my Seaborn kin, they're kind of cringe. Well, you know, I might as well make my incarnation into one of their hunters. As one do. Which I think is hilarious. Scotty. Abyssal Hunter Scotty. Rhodes Island Operator Scotty. Scotty?
Doctor?
I also respect how Ishar Mala wants to be a pretty lady. I mean, part of him turned into Martus. And with Martus' form, he's probably like, nah, you know what? I don't really like my Seaborn form. I want to be a beautiful, beautiful Abyssal Hunter. You know, that sounds amazing. Scotty swings her sword. Her grip never once relaxed. It slices through the umbilical cord. She stares coldly at the creature before her. Everyone's looking for you. Figure you'd be here. Everyone's looking for you. Dr. Misaki. Skadi, you know each other? Yes, Seaborn. Yes, we do.
Is that so strange?
She's one of my cute little operators.
We met on land.
answers. She's one of my cute little operators. She's adorable. The nuclei within its chest pulse. This is the first time something stirs in the peace within the Seaborn's chest. The oddly colored nuclei, along with the bizarre organs floating by their side, begin to weave as rhythmically as it tides. It does not approach, but both of you and Scotty can sense a burst of emotion. Joy. No matter if you personally took part, Dr. Misaki, no matter if what took place in this cerulean cave had aught to do with you, after countless years, you now stand alongside Ishar Mala. The connection between you and the kin cannot be erased. It is you who wrote this instinct into our memories. We depend on one another. The wheel of fate still turns. The surviving successors will one day meet and achieve the most improbable of possibilities. The hardship we suffer is ever present. The life we thirst for is ever present. I await you at the endpoint of evolution, Dr. Misaki, Scotty. I await you both. Well, I guess we're the chosen ones. Don't give chase, Scotty. Handle things in the city first. I couldn't understand that thing at all. What was it talking about? Some kind of declaration of war. Martis would be into this. Clearly, Martis is into everything. He's like, what? You and the Oracle, well, currently Dr. Misaki, know each other? Oh my goodness, this is amazing! The ancestor, the old one, and also our god. They are friends? Oh my goodness! And then if Scotty used all her different outfits, yeah, Martis would be cheering. Didn't sound like that to me. You woke me up just now, Doctor. When I was face to face with that Seaborn, I remembered something I felt back in Salviento. Nothing good, I presume? I assume you weren't a fan? I hated it. What good could have come from a Seaborn rambling to a human? Don't worry, I know what happened. You didn't want to listen, did you? Of course not. I have no interest in chatting with a Seaborn. That thing sounded like it'd been looking for you. It's a long story, and I don't really remember it. It said it knows me, but I don't know it. So we were both being watched. There won't be a next time. Next time, I'll be by your side. It'll be you waking me up next time. Oh, that'd be kind of bad if it's her waking me up next time. What kind of premonition am I gonna make if I say that? I like the middle one. Next time, I'll be by your side. We'll face it together. We will punch Martis in his gelatinous face. Don't worry, Doctor. I'm Scotty. Abyssal Hunter Scotty. Rhodes Island Operator Scotty. Always have been. Doesn't matter if that thing comes back looking for me or you. I haven't started watching it yet. I'll cut its vocal cords before I can speak. I trust you, Scotty. Remember who you are, and it'll work out. I trust you, Scotty. The tide's coming in, outside these walls. Sounds like it won't stop for a long while. Little Handy? Look, Little Handy doing the thing. That was a long one. And now the BP9. Why is it red text? Red text is scary. Without walls and barriers, there can be no civilization. The Seaborn come. Legionnaires, meet them. Laugh at their siege to scorn, and beat them back home. Laugh at them. How bad can this be? There's only 7 entrances and 1 exit. Well, how will this be? What's the worst that'll happen? Wizardel, do the thing. Fortress of Civilization. Okay, this will be fine. Completely fine. Time to start blocking off these ways. If I can. Yeah, block him off, kind of ish. That's right. No coming this way. It's my way, not your way. Okay, and now I want to put her right... right here seems good, actually. That's fine. Toad's fine. Wait, what? Hold this... Hold formation and stand your ground. Okay, I can hold formation and stand my ground. This is my ground and I'm standing on it. I can stand on it real good. I should have been focusing the other side too. Well, not too late for that, I guess, at this point. Right there, and then right here. Yeah, that's good. I am standing my ground. This is my ground. There should be enough support on each side, I think. Oh, it kind of looks like chaos, though. No, it's fine. It's totally fine. Those guys are just gonna be annoying, though. And ew, the ground is gross. Aw, yeah, that was good. Whoa! The six star luck is good with you. The SSR chosen one. I guess 6 is your lucky number. And oh, these are a lot of dudes. And they're trying to eat. I don't appreciate them. Hold for 30 seconds. Well, ma'am, easier said than done. Clementi, I'm trying my best. Hold for 15 seconds. I should have brought more archers and casters. Oh well, it's fine. Phew! Thank goodness for Wizardel. And Chen. And Golden Globe. And Horns. And Silver Ash. There's also Myrtle being cute. The Stray and the Companion. Kindred spirits tread divergent paths. Adversaries walk together. Oh, I guess there's no rewards too, so I don't have to farm that. No farming this either? Dang. What about this? Okay, there is stuff. That was the last for farming. Okay. And now, BPST3. Kindred spirits tread divergent paths. Adversaries walk together.
Do you really mean to return?
I finally found out that man's whereabouts. No matter who he is or what Vopo hole he's decided to hide himself in. He hurt our daughter. He needs to pay.
Then let me come with you. I don't care if it's a family standing in our way. Real catastrophes, endless tides, or the fire raining from the skies. We'll face them together.
Would the shrine be alright without you? Relax. It's just killing a few people. In long past time for those bastards to head to hell.
Then it seems we must part at once more. Heavens drink their fill. Sky besought by Sakura. Drunken clouds stumble.
Was that a haiku? It's got a good rhythm, perfectly suited for reciting while swinging a sword. I like how the calm female voice is just like calmly talking about killing others, you know, as one do. It's a chill conversation. Blows nose.
The hell, man, why are you crying? An assassin gets revenge for her daughter by crossing too big family. So she's forced to flee to a distant country. And many years later, she has to leave behind her gentle husband and re-enter the storm, all for her daughter's sake again. When I think about the people in real life who live like that, I can't help it. The way I see it, the movie should be from her point of view. I hope I don't gotta remind you that this film's supposed to be our familia's business card in the new city, and we're supposed to be reviewing it together. We gotta control how the city looks at our boss and our business. I thought you said it was great last time. Great, then why that killer lady show up out of nowhere? Pro-catastrophes, endless tides, fire rain in the skies. Who wrote this crap? Sure, Colombians poked a hole in the sky, but I ain't never heard of no fire raining down. When's it supposed to take place anyway?
Mafioso B! This is cinema. Excuse you. Do not say that about Peak.
When you're gonna learn to have a bit of perspective? A cold-blooded killer putting down her blade for a peaceful tomorrow in Nuova Bolsini, all thanks to our familia's influence. You can't get more with the times than that. If you put it that way, the film's even more crap, but you're right, as long as it's to Signora's liking.
Man, I want to watch that movie. It sounds fun to me. I'm on Mafioso A's side, the one who's like, this movie is peak, while the other guy just like, this movie is ass.
Hey, which bastard touched a switch? We under attack? No. Look at the screen.
Oh, it's nasty.
Mr. Tin Man? We have a press conference starting soon, so please keep it quick.
While you were all busy flinging out all those things into the sky, I made a few rounds in Casdell.
You know how I feel about this.
I do, young Banshee, I do. My verdict is that they feel about you as much the same as you feel about them, considering the many vile connections they have across Terra. If they do decide to get behind your project, there'll be plenty of headaches for all involved.
Thanks for the tip. Now the press conference is about to begin.
Don't be so hasty, let me finish. Nasty Lunare, Director of the Engineering at Rhine Lab. You know full well that the dream you were promised can be shared with more than just the Sorkas. The Mainlander Foundation will pledge their full support towards you and your elf friend's brazen plan. We will decide on the date to discuss the details later. That includes future launch plans, where we hope to reestablish a more complete
Galeria Stellaria.
Yes, that's the one.
And a personal project with Nilsis. Aw, look at them becoming buddies. Nasty, you on the phone?
Once the conference is over, we'll need a meeting room, a coffee machine, and to clear an entire weekend off our schedule.
That bad, huh?
If only it were as simple as good or bad. But first, the conference. Is Silence here?
I was hoping she'd stop by, but fat chance she's got the time. I put one of those Bird and Beast blind boxes from Chirag on her desk, and sure, she'd open it after a week. But the little beastie was already buried under an avalanche of files in need of review.
The guy who's supposed to be making a speech for us isn't here yet either.
Well, he's still got 2 minutes. Ferdinand! Ah! Hi, Ferdinand!
Clears throat. Ladies and gentlemen, the press conference is about to begin. Please quiet down. I'll be happy to answer any and all relevant questions during the Q&A segment.
Sounds like he's in a good mood.
Let us first...
Playing the same trick twice. Doesn't it get old?
No, Ferdinand's confused too. This wasn't part of his plan. This is...
The challenges we face are far greater than ourselves or catastrophes. We must form a community, under the leadership of Aegir, to overcome them together. Repeat. An Aegir broadcast to all surface-dwelling peoples. We ask all of humanity to set aside your conflicts and prejudices, and join the Aegir in building a bulwark together. The Matrix has broken through the blockade, and swept past the sea. Essential information and calculation results are about to make landfall. The challenges we face are far greater than ourselves or catastrophes. We must form a community, under the leadership of Aegir, to overcome them together. Under the leadership of Ager.
You're still looking towards the land, Dr. Kelsey. Like a mother, anxious about the child she had to leave behind.
A child, is it? In one brief communication, you have delivered knowledge that countless others have given their lives for to no avail. Geographical data on the foreign hotlands, an Envy ice field, and images from even further north of the continent. One way of showing goodwill, I suppose.
If anything, this is like such an ominous way to make an introduction. For those who are like, what the heck is Ager?
It's like, wait. Like, go together?
What? Calamity? What?
To share knowledge is natural, while showing goodwill takes intention. I failed to see how the two are related. It was essential to thoroughly evaluate the extent of shock this would be to our terrestrial friends. With these not urgent times, we really should have been more cautious. My concern is that their immediate danger is more worthy of our attention. How much longer do you believe Millennium can hold Consul Clementia? With our fleets taking shifts, we can keep up continuous 24-hour covering fire for a week. There have been no major changes in the Seaborn's movements. As the energy supplying the force field dries up, the stopping power to our weapons will also gradually dwindle. But this is not outside expectations. The city can hold for another half a month, no more. How long will it take reinforcements to arrive from home territories?
A week. Our countless nanomachines have established steady information flows. Compressed fleets and cities can speed through them, traversing the oceans in an instant. However, assembling our forces will still take time. Some people would have known that Ager existed, but I'm not sure if all of them, like... Imagine if you were one of the people inside of, let's say, Akahuala, for instance. You're just having fun, pitting machine against machine, or having just full-on fist fights against each other just for the funsies, and then you hear this ominous voice coming out of nowhere talking about calamities and Ager. You'd be like, what's an Ager? What the heck?
A week. How quick?
You need not hide your worries, Dr. Kelsey. There are essential differences between the ways we and the Landwalkers think. Simple sincerity is insufficient for reaching effective bilateral cooperation. On the one hand, we hope that reinforcements will arrive as soon as possible. On the other, you worry that the subsequent contact and communications will be outside your control. You even worry that Scotty and the Doctor have deviated from your plans.
You already know of Scotty's secret then.
My little handy happened to record a chance meeting between Scotty, the Doctor, and Martis on the street corner. Compared to discovering the secrets of their identities, controlling who knows what is much more difficult. An abyssal hunter with a firstborn within her, and a predecessor scientist to witness the rise and fall of the prehistoric civilization in person. They are both of great import to Ager. Based on simple evolutionary logic, the firstborn would not have chosen to entrust the future of its kin to its killer. We still have no idea how the Seaborn will become the final answer to resisting ruination. Even with missing memories, the Doctor still bears that mission. How will this so-called death of all things come about? And what can Terra do about it? We must find out. Scotty and the Doctor are without a doubt the key to Ager's solving of the riddles.
Scotty will face her blood. The Doctor's duty will be fulfilled. But it should be their choice, not somebody else's scheme. I fear that once Ager learns of their identities, it will devise ways to exploit them. Haratia asked me earlier if I was hiding something from her. And how did you answer, Madam Consul?
No need to worry, she does not know yet. You truly treasure Scotty and the Doctor, don't you? Even when confronted with a disaster threatening to wipe out civilization, you still wish to respect their choices. But this is no time for us to hesitate. I can't hide this from Haratia forever.
I presume you have a plan then, considering you're hiding this from her at all.
I've reached an agreement with Gladia. We will take over all abyssal hunter-related research in the name of the legions, and ensure the hunters will not be put in circumstances depriving them of choice.
As for the doctor and myself, we hope to go deeper into the Aegir home territories and solve these mysteries by ourselves. I fear that we will need an Aegir guide.
Well then, it would be my pleasure. Lamentia! We're gonna travel together? Oh, I'm okay with this. I'm into this. That sounds nice.
Cassie will receive the punishment she deserves. Millennium's incubation chamber has been moved to a safety. So as long as the city doesn't fall, the child she left behind will be born safely. They'll be raised in the Institute of Incubation. I know what you're thinking. The fate of the Church of the Deep's cultists isn't worth calling you over for. Do you still think that everything will end in ruin, Mr. Avidas? I still believe in history. Once written, it can never be changed. Even a tragic victory is destined to be another page in its annals. I'm glad to hear you say that. Let's get down to business, Yordi. I met with Consul Clementia. I confessed everything. What I was thinking, what I did, and what I saw but never spoke of. I accepted the tribunal's interrogation, but they did not believe I deserved to be labeled fallen. I stood at the precipice and I looked around, perhaps even stuck a toe over the edge, but no more than that. The final verdict was that I could keep my post and continue to stay at Millennium. It sounds like you have other plans, though. They may see it as repentance, but I cannot forget the outcome of my silence and inaction. I'm not arrogant enough to believe that I could have affected an entire military campaign on my own. But what if I had reported Cassia's unusual behavior? This could have played out very differently. And so, I plan to leave Millennium. To where? The Aegirian home territories? Somewhere even further than that. Even further? Now that the waterway is opened, Aegir is about to restart the work interrupted by the Seaborn. Expeditionary fleets will once more explore the far side of Terra, but this time, we have changed the course of our voyage. We might set off from that mining nation of Rimbiliton and try to touch the edge of the sea. Better I die in some expedition in the unknown than wallow here in sorrow, self-reproach, and despair until it saps me of all my strength. There, whether we go forwards or downwards, no one knows what awaits us. We'll be like Brilgin in times of yore, pushing back against the darkness of ignorance. You mean? You caught on? Fontana Rosa, yes, I'm inviting you to join us on this distant voyage. I'm not the only one who desires this. You said earlier that I never answered your questions properly. You were right, and I should apologize, but there was something I truly wish to tell you back then. We have no need to prove our place. Even if the vestiges of the past have worn you down to nothing, you can still tie your future to Aegir. I don't know what to say. This is all a bit much. Don't worry, Aegir respects the choices of all of its citizens. We farewell on your carefully considered departure. We await your eventual return, no matter how long it may take.
Hey, look at him getting another job offer.
Maestro, today's maintenance work in the lighthouse should be finished. Is there some sort of issue with the others? No, I'm just here to watch the sea like you. I heard from the other Inquisitors that you kept making time to come to the coast, even while we were in Millennium. Iberia threw a stone into the sea. We were worried it would foment an unstoppable wave. But what was even more worrying was that it might sink in silence with nary a whisper. Fortunately, the stone stirred up the ripples we hoped for, and Iberia was able to see the circumstances beneath the waves, and in so doing make up its mind. You performed your duties as envoy admirably. If there was ever a time in your life to stand tall with your head held high, now's the time. Yes, sir. Maestro, I've been thinking about returning to Gran Faro, going back to the chapel where I used to live with Uncle Thiago. You should have seen Thiago one last time. We live in an age of regrets. If you see the Inquisition as the source of those regrets, I cannot refute you. If you have things to pack, Irene can help you. What? No, that's not what I meant. I'm really just thinking of going back to have a look. In other words, you haven't yet made up your mind. Yeah. You told me earlier that the Inquisition letting me to return to Ager was a test. Am I not? On the contrary, Bordy, do not mistake bewilderment for a momentary hesitation. You have lifted your lantern and clearly seen the fork in the road before you. You are merely weighing your choices before choosing which path to follow. The sea fog is thick, and both routes seem slick with mud. But you are not the one to be criticized for this. Bordy, Fontana Rosa. If you choose to follow that Agarian scholar into the unknown waters, the Inquisition will not stop you. The strength of the waves crashing against the shore will not change because a single clerk leaves or strays. If you choose to stay ashore in Iberia, you will carry responsibilities that are more exhausting than you are used to, but are also much more important. Those are the expectations Iberia has for you. The choice is yours. I understand, Maestro. By the by, Irene mentioned that you've been suffering from severe insomnia these past few days. How was last night? It rained rather heavily around midnight without a star in the sky. By the crack of dawn, there'd been about 2 or 3 urgent-ish situations I had to handle. But overall, a rather peaceful night, all things considered.
Do the Seaborn dream? Dreams are comprised of thoughts or emotions flaring up as they dissipate. But now I am nothing more than instinct. Why the scene again? Following the unfathomable passages in the ruins, at the very end, a great beast gently sticks a tentacle to the bulkhead. What is it waiting for, perhaps? I walk forward, passing through the shadow of the cerulean tree. Until I am before him, I extend a hand. Touch. Unknown language. Warning. Deep sleep procedures will commence in 3 minutes. Real-time translation programs will soon shut down. Please provide all necessary instructions as soon as possible. Ishar Mala. Our shared name. Our shared decision. We trust one another. We feel as one, do we not? I will watch over you until the end of my days. No, this person isn't me. This isn't my dream. It's Ishar Mala's memories? The doctor's funny though. Doctor has noodle arms but can handle being at the bottom of the sea with all the pressure. Underwater doctor's like, nah, this is nothing. On land doctor's like, oh, my noodle arms. And my noodle legs, my noodle body. I am not al dente, I am just overcooked. Gah. You have followed me through many nests, Abyssal Hunter.
The reinforcements from the home territory is about to arrive. The confrontation between your kin and Ager's legions will soon intensify. You would choose this moment to depart. Your front line has already advanced into land, Seaborn. Why choose to turn back and return to the Abyss? How is this conflict connected to the reawakening of the Firstborn?
You're an astute man, Hunter.
I merely discovered your existence before the others. You left evidence in Ishar Mila's body. You're the Church of the Deep's founder.
You sought refuge in the shadows to see traces of me?
Only a shadow may merge with a shadow.
A most interesting hunter. What do you wish to know?
Everything.
I know you, Hunter. You are Ska D's comrade. Has Ager refused your everything?
This nation has refused too much. So much that it's dug its own grave.
Your schemes are far too obvious.
I never intended to hide them. I fell in order to obtain answers.
The nuclei within its skull converge. I can tell you all you've longed to know, Hunter. Regarding my next actions, regarding the sealed passages in the ruins embedded in Terra's mantle, regarding how the other firstborns will awaken, regarding Aegir, regarding the next doom to greet Terra. We kin are selfless. We kin are devoted. We kin wish to share everything. The only requirement is that you become one with we many. Ulpianus meets the Seaborn's gaze. It has no face, but he can tell that it's observing him. Through its transparent membranes, past the faintly leaping nuclei, Ulpianus sees his own eyes. You said you fell earlier? No, Hunter. The conjoining of flesh is not enough. Turn endurance into acceptance. Turn humiliation to elation. You must trust the kin. Trust your own instincts.
I don't trust elation, just because of Honkai Star Rail. Elation, no.
You must take up a duty far beyond imagination. The duty of we many. Perhaps you will learn the full truth in our embrace. But when the time comes, you will be unable to, unwilling to, bring it back to Aegir. Just as I could not.
I feel like Ulpianus can. He's built different. He really is. He already got super lucky with the first part for his surgery. The chance encounter, basically. Or a chance with the Seaborn genes. Let's watch him win the 50-50 again. Unlike Martus.
The Seaborn passes Ulpianus. Swimming ever deeper into the nest, its back quickly disappears from view, leaving only the nest before him in full bloom. The contaminated coral shimmers in its multitudes, countless fantastical life forms split between them, using its glimmer to dispel the darkness in the depths. They grow. They form tides.
Martus lost the 50-50 if anything. There might have been a slight chance, but no.
But Ulpianus ignores them. His gaze passes over a golden sea, over every scar, every inch of flesh, every cell, every chaotic waking dream. It falls somewhere he cannot see, the deepest recess of his own self. Ulpianus follows along.
All the Seaborn are just like, one of us! One of us! But Ulpianus is like, nah, I reject. Nah. He's like, bet.
Like you won't be able to return just like me, Ulpipi. You'll become a Seaborn too.
Bet. And what a great end. They end with the cliffhanger for real. Well, I guess we'll find out what happens to him next time. Wonderful. Well, yeah, this event has more questions than answers. And yeah, it's a shame we won't see Tuli ever again. I really liked her design. I am very happy that we got to keep Secunda. Secunda being the one we get for this event makes me very happy because overall, design-wise, she was my favorite during this event. When it comes to new faces. I'm also happy that Clementia is gonna be our next tour. I want to see how the other Aegir cities are like. I imagine they're all completely different. And with Clementia as our guide, there's never going to be a dull moment. And I'm pretty sure we're going to see Martus again in the future. Martus. Silly Martus. But it's okay, at least Martus ain't too bad. If he appears again next time, if we fight him again next time, I wonder if I'll finally be able to hit him. Or if I have to just hit his friends instead. Either way, I'll be extra prepared. Heh. Well, Martus will clearly come back to see us again. I bet he'll want to say hello. He clearly loves
the Doctor and Skadi. He also kind of likes Kelsey, but mainly the Doctor and Skadi. Marta's like, yay, you two know each other? Fantastic! I'm so happy you two know each other. It's all meant to be. It's Marta's fanfiction come to life, but not really. Oh, you're thinking of Blandas. Yeah, no Blandas. Blandas. He was the ultimate loser during this event. I'm sorry, Blandas. All the rejections. Well, in the end, they still called him close to them, but still, he was rejected so many times. I do feel bad for him. I feel very, very bad for him. Well, the Doctor helped make the Seaborn, just like Originium. I feel like the Doctor might be immune too. But there's one way to find out. Time to bite Martas the next time we see him. Like, hey, Martas. Martas is gonna try to connect with Skadi again with that nasty, nasty umbilical. We're gonna tear the umbilical apart with our teeth. That is how we're gonna do it. And then we'll see what happens after that. Will we transform? Will we not? Well, we'll find out next time in the next episode. My favorite thing about the event? Overall, my favorite thing was well, I like the banter between Irene and Secunda. How they started off as such frenemies, and then in the end, it's like, wow, Irene, thank you for coming here, and that's a great idea, Irene. They ended up becoming good buddies, I think, in the end. And I'm pretty sure they're gonna work together a lot, which I think is adorable. Must bonk. I am immune right now. Very, very proud. And I'm happy that I was able to catch up to the event. And then now I can just farm. Lots and lots of farming. I'm prepared for that. I already bought most of... Well, I bought most of the room supplies, and I also bought all of my copies of Secunda, so I'm happy about that. Yes, bonk later. Of course. Of course. But for now, I gotta make sure things are downloaded for tomorrow. I gotta make sure that Girls Frontline is all prepared. I think it should be, but I'm gonna just double check. Because for some reason, some game downloads have been acting up. I tried downloading Final Fantasy XIV last night, but it didn't work. There was an error. And then before leaving the house today, I tried setting it up again, but it failed. There was an error. So maybe tonight, I'm just gonna stare at my screen. Maybe I'll even work on some homework while watching it download properly. So I'm wondering what the heck went wrong. That bothers me so much. I'm scared of the EX stages. But actually, no, I shouldn't be scared. With Wizard on my side, I think it's gonna be fine. Everything will be wonderful. Yeah, it's gonna be a long download, but it's okay. The night's still young enough over here. It's only 8:57 p.m. The download saves progress. I hope it does. You know, let me just get that up right now. I'm just curious how it is. If the stream decides to break randomly because of this, you'll know why. But I am checking the download to see what happened. I used my sanity potions, which is why I was able to buy a decent amount at the store and also get some chips. But time to check my Final Fantasy download then. Log in. Log in, please. Now, what does it say? I think it's restarting. I can't tell. Well, it says there's 29,449.60 megabytes. I'm gonna be a baby player. Yes, a newbie. I'm Bebe. Extreme noob. Going in super duper blind. But it's gonna be fine. I'm gonna believe in myself. I'm only doing the free trial for now anyway, so it's okay. Hopefully I can try that tonight. It says it's only 97 minutes left to download, so maybe it did count some of it. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see how this goes. Hopefully it downloads within the time. It says 97 minutes now. Yesterday, last night, it was 200 something minutes. So 97 is definitely a big difference. So cool, that's good. I know, good night to you. Good night, good night. I want it to download faster. Maybe if I close everything on my computer, it'll help it. You know, I will believe then. I won't even do homework. I'm just gonna let it load. I'm just gonna stare at it. I will even disconnect my phone from the Wi-Fi just to make sure that it downloads properly. And oh, you have a question? What's your question, oddball? But oh my goodness, I'm just gonna hope for the best for this. Between Zaro and Blondas, who's the better loser? Well. The better loser would be Blondas because in a way he still wins. Because at the end they did say that he was a fellow colleague, that they were close. Unlike Zaro just gonna be bullied for eternity, so he's the ultimate loser. The worst in a way, in the sense that he's just gonna be forever the loser. Over and over and over and over and over. Versus Blondas, who was still kind of liked in the end. Just kind of, a little bit. That is how it'd be. That's how I rank the loserness. And wow. This download jumped to 57 minutes. That's amazing. Primal Data Center Lamia server. Ooh. Okay. Thank you too. And yeah, this is good. It just means that they should probably be downloaded by the time I hop on Arium, so I don't have to worry about destroying my data. Nice. Okay. Wait a second. Let me just do this real quick.
Okay.
Before I accidentally lose a thingy. Wait. Let me find this. Bam. 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 Except I failed at searching. Let me try again. There. Oh yeah. Wait, who's this? Let me click. Dang, I can't click on the ulpipi. Yes, I'll be using my sanity tonight. I meant to farm a little bit more before the stream, but then I got distracted by the people outside who were going around Christmas caroling. So early. Early considering it's not even close, or that close to Christmas anyways. Ooh. Okay, hopping between the data centers will be that easy. That's good then. And you're wondering whose skin I bought so far? You know, I'll show that before I go. Well, you can see who I didn't buy. Well, these are the ones I have. Of course, I have Gladia. I had to get Penance. And Saga's just adorable, so I had to get hers too. Could I request the carolers to do Padoru? Man, I should've, but Dad was like, no thank you. Or not, I should've went out to them and just Padoru them. I should have been the one to assert dominance. Oh well. I already had Sagas, so between these two... Like Gladia's, oh my goodness, just Gladia. Especially since this is technically her... What? It said casual outfit? The outfit she often wears, I'm like, dang Gladia! This is her outside of her Abyssal Hunter uniform. This is her just... Her normal drip. I was like, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, Gladia.
Yeah, her casual wear. Very, very casual. Walking around home like this, probably. I respect. Mad respect, yo. And I love her boots. They're so fancy. So Gladia wins. It makes me wonder how some of the others would dress casually based on, like, Gladia's. Like Gladia's mom, now that we know who her mom is. Otherwise, Saga's is pretty cute because look at this. Adorable. So incredibly wholesome. And look at the sleepy one. I love the one in the basket the most. Basket one wins my heart. Also the one with the giant bowl of rice. Now that is cute. That is precious. I love the fan service for Gladia's skin. It's beautiful. I'm satisfied with it. And heck, this outfit's also pretty. I had to get it too. But it is kind of sad though how she is at a cemetery. Like, look at this. I'm happy that Rubio lives on, at least over here. Because Rubio, oh, he was one of the favorites from her event. Sad. Rubio, you will be missed. Your daughter's in good hands, Rubio. Don't worry. Just the ultimate oof, though. But on the bright side, look at how pretty her outfit is! And how she's enjoying reading a book. Yeah, we're just gonna ignore this half for a little bit. Now we're gonna pay our respects and then go just to this side. And enjoy her weapon that kind of looks like a fountain pen, too. Very, very cute, otherwise. And I'd want to buy more skins, but I'm just gonna resist for now since I only have 22 of these. Otherwise, I'd be tempted to get Greenbud's outfit because Greenbud's is just adorable. Look at her! And look at that bag of hers. I love those kind of bags. I want a bag like that myself. It's so cute. But maybe next time I'll wait for it to come back. Assuming that I have enough by then to be able to spend some more. Because right now I just gotta be semi-strong. It's okay. We can wait though. It's fine. I will believe. But now I'll be farming and then also putting stuff in the back too. And oh no! Oh, that's gonna be a struggle for Girls Frontline too. Man. I'll have to think about how much I want to spend in that game. It'll be okay. It'll be fine. I will know the struggles tomorrow. For now, I'm gonna be good and let my download in the background go properly. I'll close out everything. So that being said, thank you everyone for stopping by the stream. I hope everyone has a great rest of your day at Epic Gacha Lack. I should be hopping on Irium tonight, and hopefully the game will be downloaded by them so then that way I can start it. I want to start tonight. I believe it says that it's 49 minutes left, and once I close everything, it's gonna focus on downloading, so I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye! Yay for being a sprout!